What's up guys, how's it going? My name is MidnightMan. Welcome back to the channel for another video. Today I'll be showing you an unboxing, test, and review of my about week and a half experience using the Cloner Alliance Flint 4KP capture card, which they were nice enough to send this out to me for free to test in a video. If after watching this video you tell yourself, hey, you know, I never heard of that capture card, it's pretty cool, I think it'll work for my setup, let me know in the comment section below, because Cloner Alliance said I could actually send this same capture card right here out to you guys. That is if you need it and you will use it. I'm not gonna send this to someone so they can resell it. That's not the purpose of this giveaway here. I usually don't do too many in-depth detailed reviews of electronic devices, but they really wanted me to give them some good feedback so that they can make their capture card better. And hey, maybe this might be a capture card you might be interested in if you don't win the giveaway. You never know, right? Anyways, to get things started, before I even opened the box, I noticed that something seemed to be rolling loose inside. Just take a listen. This is the box capture card came in, looks pretty cool, but I am a little bit concerned because when I was moving it around, you hear things kind of, feels like something is just rolling loose in the box. So what could that be? That's the first thing I wanted to find out when opening this box. Turns out they were USB adapters. It would have been nice if those were in a tiny plastic bag or something, just to hold them in place. Also in the box is a USB to micro USB adapter, a USB-C cable to connect the capture card to your phone or computer, and yes, you have the ability to connect both, which I'll show you later in this video how that works. Now for the Flint 4KP capture card itself, it's nice, it's light, it's sleek, in red and black. It has the ability to stream and record gameplay up to 1080p at 60 frames per second. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, doesn't this record in 4K? I know 4K is in its name, it's a little bit deceiving, but all that is that 4K quality gets passed through the device, and from there it records in 1080p at 60 frames per second. So no, this is not a 4K capture card. The capture card itself has your typical HDMI in and out ports. On the other side of the capture card, you have your USB connection as well as a line in and out jack, which is optional for inputting and outputting audio sources. In addition, it also has a microphone input jack as an option to record commentary with. That's pretty much everything in the box. Last thing that was left was an HDMI cable. Next up here, it was time to set this baby up so I could record my awesome Fortnite gameplay or whatever I might be trying to record. The setup based on the instructions given in the box were very simple, especially when setting up with the PS4. The end of the HDMI connected to the PlayStation plugs into the HDMI in slot. The second HDMI cable goes into the HDMI out slot with the other end of that HDMI cable going into the TV. So you'll have your signal that way. Lastly, all I had to do was connect a USB cable from the capture card to the computer or phone that I wanted to record with. Now, in addition to this basic setup, I was able to plug in my headphones directly into the capture card via the line out jack so that I could hear and record the audio at the same time without playing it through my TV. If you think of another device such as the Elgato Game Capture HD60S, it doesn't have a line out jack. It does have the line in, which you'll have to use for the Elgato chat link cable. That's a complete separate expense, and it's not a cable that comes with the capture card itself. The only drawback I would say on the Flint 4KP capture card when it comes to that line out jack is that the audio that I get through my headphones is very bright and tinny. It's not very good, unfortunately. It's not the quality you get if you plug your headphones directly into the PlayStation controller. But honestly guys, other than that, this is a great feature that this capture card has. Now that my hardware setup is good to go, I had to pick a third-party recording software, or I could get the bundled Cloner Alliance software by following the instructions that came in the box. The steps to register my device were pretty simple. I got a registration code right away to my email so that I could download the 2 pieces of free software that Cloner Alliance offered. One of the programs is called MP4 Cloner, which allows you to edit and trim MP4 files, then save or burn the video project. The other program is HTML Cloner Helper Pro, which will allow you to record gameplay off your desired device. Problem is that both of these programs can only be used on PC. So what about recording on Mac and Linux? Well, I guess I was out of luck. For me personally, I use a Mac to record my gameplay, so I had to go with a third-party program. The third-party program I decided to go with to test this out on my Mac was OBS, and honestly, it barely worked. I did luckily get it to work, I think maybe a total of 2 times, and I did a test stream on Twitch, which went quite well. I didn't have any interruptions, but when I tried another day to connect it again, it just wasn't working. I was using the exact same settings as I was when it was working, but it just didn't work. Now, on the other hand, using the Flint 4KP capture card with OBS on a Windows computer worked much better. I didn't have any issues at all. It was pretty seamless. Literally every time I plugged in the Flint 4KP capture card using the correct Windows settings in OBS, it didn't have many problems at all. The only little issue I ran across was that my gameplay audio was not coming through. So to fix this, I did check the FAQ page, which is pretty detailed. They have a lot of frequently asked questions that you can check there if there's something that's not working. But I found the FAQ documentation to try to fix the audio, and turns out this documentation was out of date and wasn't correct or working. The audio output mode and the audio device settings needed to be adjusted differently, as you can see on screen. What you're seeing on the right side of the screen is what I had to use to make the audio come through. On the left side of the screen is the documentation that they have up live right now, which isn't correct, and the audio wasn't coming through when I tried these settings. But once I figured out how to fix this audio issue in OBS, I was smooth sailing on Windows from there on out. In addition to using the third-party program OBS, I did test this out using their bundled recording software. Didn't have much problem here either. It worked well. I also went to test this capture card to see if I could record directly to my phone without having to use a computer. So what I did is I had my friend come over who owns an Android device, as I only own an Apple phone, and we went to the Google Play Store and we downloaded the Cloner Alliance application. This first test ended up being a complete fail. I had all the equipment set up correctly. It just wasn't working. I couldn't get a picture. It just remained a black screen. On top of this, when I unplugged the capture card from the phone, the app would just crash. I emailed Cloner Alliance telling them that I couldn't get the capture card to work with the phone application, and they responded telling me that it did work and to try it again. So I did. This time I got a friend that owns the Google Pixel 1, and it ended up working. I was able to record straight from the phone, and it saved to the phone, and now that my gameplay is saved there, I can actually edit from my phone and post to YouTube if I wanted to. In addition to just recording with the application on the phone, I can also do screenshots and go live, which is so handy. I hope there are other capture card developers watching this video. You guys need to make a phone app. Trust me, this is a game changer. Anyways, at this point in the video, you're probably asking yourself, what does this gameplay look like? I want to see it, MidnightMan. Well, you know what? You're not seeing it unless you smack the thumbs up button right now. I will wait for you. Do it. Just do it. Come on, man. Okay. All right, fine. Here it is anyway. See how it sounds? Well, you can't see how it sounds. See how it looks, listen to how it sounds. Get it. Okay, so you've looked at the gameplay, you listened to the audio. What do you guys think of it so far? You can let me know in the comment section below. But in my opinion, I don't think this recording is bad at all. Though I do wish it was a bit sharper. Like if you compare it to the Elgato game capture recording quality, you can see that Elgato has sharper edges, where the Flint 4KP, it's a little fuzzy on the outsides there. Now, if you're pretty into gaming equipment like capture cards, I'm glad you made it this far into the video, because the next thing I'm about to mention is the coolest thing that I discovered while testing this capture card out. So amazing enough, you can have HDCP enabled and you will still be able to record audio and video from the console. This means you can stream or record games while using Spotify in the background, YouTube, Netflix, you get the point. If you're trying to use any app on your PlayStation that is blocked when you have HDCP turned off, you can just turn HDCP on and you'll be able to record whatever you want. Unlike when you're using the Elgato game capture, you can see on screen right now that it doesn't work. The screen will go black and you won't be able to record what you want. So if this is something you desperately want in a capture card, this would be a great device for you to pick up. Alright, so with everything that I mentioned in this video, what's my final take on the Cloner Alliance Flint 4KP capture card? Well, overall I'd say it's okay. Not bad at all. There's a few things that I personally like. One being the bypass of HDCP, so I don't have to switch between enabling it and disabling it. If I want to watch a show and then record something later, I can just keep it enabled all the time and do whatever the heck I want. I can record a whole Netflix show if I wanted to, watch on another device, or if I'm streaming, I can play Spotify in the background if I'm streaming on Twitch. Also, the line out jack, when you plug your headphones in there, I love how you can listen to the gameplay and you don't have to worry about the audio not being recorded, because it will record, luckily. Unlike with the Elgato, you gotta get this whole separate cable, the Chaplin cable, just so you can get the audio to record and use your headphones at the same time, which honestly is a little bit annoying. So, but my only beef with this is that the audio quality is not as good as it could be. It's very tinny and bright, and the sound needs to darken up a little bit and sound like it would if you plugged your headphones into the controller of your PlayStation 4. But other than that, I don't personally think this capture card's worth $140, just for me personally, because I primarily use my Mac to stream and do all my video work, and it's just not the most reliable capture card with what I use, unfortunately. It's just very wishy-washy. It's perfect if you have a Windows machine, but honestly not with a Mac. It's not the most reliable. It might work, it might not work. Now don't get me wrong here, the Flint 4KP has a ton of potential. I would personally love it if they improved the HDMI Cloner Helper Pro tool out, the tool that you use to actually record gameplay that they created. If they could improve that to where you could record gameplay, stream, and also have flashback recording as well, so you can go back in time and record something that you might have missed, that would be incredible. And make sure it works on Macs, Linux, and Windows. That would be incredible. The next thing here I would say is to improve the mobile app. You got people saying it's not working, they can't stream. For me, I couldn't even get a picture of what I was trying to record, so it was a complete fail. But you know what? I'll say that this is a hit or miss because it just depends on the phone you have for if it'll work or not. My hope for the future is that this mobile recording application will work with all the phones, Android or iOS, without problem. I mentioned improving the quality of the line out audio. And lastly, I think it would be great if they made a larger USB cable, because this thing is just, it's just too small, honestly. Like, look at this compared to the Elgato cable that I get. It's just too small. I'm sorry. That really does it for the video review. I know it was kind of detailed, but I hope it provided some pretty good feedback and some information to people who might be interested in capture cards other than Elgato. And besides, Cloner Alliance, you guys were nice enough to send me this capture card out free of charge, and I really appreciate it, honestly. This is a solid piece of equipment with a great potential in it. And trust me, I love to rip apart Elgato products too, but this is a good first. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure you smack the thumbs up button, subscribe to this channel if you're new around here. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Whew, we just keep going up. Maybe in the future I'll make a follow-up video to this, depending on if Cloner Alliance makes some improvements like I mentioned in this video. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave the video here. Enjoy the rest of your day, pretty please, just for me, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.